It's PJ time on the emmalucillea channel. And that doesn't just go for me. If you're watching this right now, you better f***ing put on some motherfucking PJs right the f*** now. Hey there, lovely people. My name is emmalucillea. First and foremost, there's something actually really important that I feel I should address. Regarding my last, video where I was talking. Sorry, this is really hard for me to talk about. I just wanted to offer my most deep and sincere apologies to anyone I hurt or offended with my shittily filled in eyebrows. I had a severe and momentary lapse in judgment. Yeah, regarding the concerns over whatever the fuck this was, listen, if you are a long-time watcher of the emmalucillea channel, you would know that this is something I've discussed before. I cannot fucking fill in my eyebrows. I've been saying this. If you watch my videos, you'll know this about me. Yeah, no, it was a bad day. And I just wanted to explain to you that the reason why I failed to recognize that was because I've lost all perception of the world and also what I look like. This is how regular people see things, and this is how I see things. Saws. I do just ask though, if you have any future concerns or comments about my appearance, if you could just attach them via my Venmo, emmalucillea. That'd be great. So as we wrap on the absolute shit show that was 2021, I wanted to make a little video on a mentality that I intend on riding straight through 2022. And that mentality is, kill the part of yourself that cringes. I've seen this phrase loosely thrown around before, and it's one that I'm trying to adopt some more. Me when I'm Dr. Seuss. I've come to reflect and spread the agenda. Things are weird. I feel like being that we live fully engrossed in a digital age, we live in a funky situation. It's like everyone now has a presence online, and as a result, we're constantly under everyone's radar. And personally, I think that is funny. I like seeing what everyone is up to and sharing all these aspects of my life with the world. I think it's really interesting though, because at the same time, I hate it. I found that anytime I'm posting anything anywhere, I'm just thinking about how people are perceiving that content. Because here's one thing about me. I love making content, but I hate being perceived. What a dilemma. It just feels like I'm so self-aware of everything I'm putting out. And as someone who has personal accounts, writing accounts, editing accounts, a YouTube account, having all those presences and having that mentality at the same time can become very overwhelming. If I post anything I'm in physically, I'm thinking, how are people reacting to this? Do people think I'm pretty? Do people think I'm ugly? Is this funny? Is this stupid? And if I'm posting something personal or something that I've created, I'm thinking, how are people reacting to this? Do people think it's good? Do people think it's creative? Do people think it's weird that I do this thing? Do I stand out artistically or in this genre? Whatever. And I think this fear is why we've created a very artificial version of ourselves that we feel we need to put out into the world. And a big part of that leads into the fear of judgment. This could just be me, but I don't think it used to be that bad. Like, I think it's a simultaneous mix of getting older and then also the rapid integration, just like increase in the way we integrate ourselves into like online and social media has just fucking fueled the hell out of that fire. Now, let us take a look at the Urban Dictionary's definition of cringe. Cringe. Jake Paul. Well, cringe. When someone acts / or is so embarrassing or awkward that it makes you feel extremely ashamed and / or embarrassed. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. There are times where I have looked at other people's content and I've thought to myself, yeah! But you wanna know who the cringiest person on this planet is? Me! A shocking conclusion that I've come to recently. Where are my sticky notes? Get ready, I have a presentation. First, most people do not care. Or rather, they either don't care or they're like, if someone is following you and intaking your media, it's probably because they either enjoyed you or what you're making at some point, or they do now, still. Most people aren't spending their time just sitting and scrutinizing you. Here is the second thing I would assert. Some people will sit and scrutinize you. I'm putting my glasses back on, so I'm taken more seriously. There is no avoiding it. The only way to not be scrutinized at all for you or the things you make is to simply not be. And that's why at many times I've thought about just deleting all my social medias and going out to live as a little goblin in the woods. And that's a valid path that a few people I know have chosen, and good for them. But I feel that you should never stop sharing things about yourself for the sake of feeling scrutinized by other people. Because, number 3. Because you are never going to please everyone with every aspect of your identity. Just to be clear, I understand a whiteboard or like a pin board would have been a lot more effective. However, I don't have those things and I make about 2 cents per video I make, so And that leads me straight into the 4th point. You are your biggest critic. No one has sit and stared at my photos and writing and videos more than anyone except me. And I have never thought about anyone's stuff more than my stuff. It's not even a little bit close. Not even a little bit close. And I think our presence online only advances this fear of being cringed at so much more. I actually asked on one of my public stories, which was very nerve-wracking for me because I never post to my public stories like that. But I posted a little photo and I was like, drop things that you think make you feel cringy or things you feel scared to share about yourself online because you don't want to be cringed. And as I'm filming this, I haven't read all the replies yet, so it's gonna be super interesting to see if anybody responds. But the people who do, I will put all of their answers right now so you can get an idea for what all these different people are saying. Interesting, right? I assume, hopefully. It's why when I look at my old videos and the way I looked in them and the way I edited in them, why I want to private everything. It's why I wouldn't post a photo of myself without staring at it for an hour. And then if I did post it, I would just stare at the comments and likes and just want to delete it, and I'd literally have to close the app and run and not go on the app for days at a time because I'd be so hyper aware that people were looking at me. It's why I never shared my writing or my editing or anything I made outside of my private anonymous accounts where I made them, because I didn't want to get judged for sharing those publicly, being a 20-year-old woman who likes to write silly little stories and make silly little edits. It's why I never posted a vent to my public or private stories, because I didn't want anyone to read my vulnerable thoughts and look at them and judge them. It's why when I leave the house I feel like everyone's looking at me and everyone who's looking at me is judging me and I'm being judged all the time, and that's why I've always got to look my best and put out the best version of myself that can people please everyone around me. I need to be liked by people I don't even know. And it's why when I saw people commenting about my dumb eyebrows, look, they were probably shit again, I don't know. It was a good video, but I literally wanted to take down the whole video because I was like, oh my god, they're right. I look like shit. It got to the point where the need to not be any version of myself that could be perceived as cringy was literally taking over my daily thoughts. Glasses off moment. It has become so easy to fall victim to a very judgmental way of looking at yourself and looking at others. I was aware that I was doing it all the time and I hated it. I had, and I have had, enough. Now what do we do with this knowledge, you may be asking? Fuck it. I am never gonna please everyone, much less myself, so fuck it. In the words of our beloved Lord and Savior, lead singer of iconic pop band Maroon 5, Adam Levine, YOLO. The way I see it, you've got 3 ways you can go about living your life these days. Off the grid and doing whatever, on the grid and limiting yourself, or on the grid and doing whatever. Now me, I love being on the grid. I love the grid. I love being on all these different platforms with all these different medias and talking about things and sharing things. I think it's great, most of the time. What's now gonna sound cheesy, or dare I say it, cringe, I'm gonna say this. Be yourself. Easier said than done, I know, because when you are truly authentic, both in life and with the way you present yourself to hundreds of people, thousands of people online, you are more subject to getting judged. Here's the thing. There's a secret 5th post-it note. I just blew up your freaking mind. The people who are gonna cringe at you for being yourself can shove it. Who needs them? I don't want someone keeping up with me or my content if they don't like it. And that is why I keep up my old videos with my dumb face and my dumb editing, because it's a natural part of my evolution, both as a creator and as a kid, and I shouldn't be embarrassed of that. And that's why I've been posting more photos and keeping them up even if they get no comments, or even though my feed is literally just has no aesthetic going on whatsoever. It's why I now post my silly little edits of Andrew Garfield on my public story to share with everyone, because you know what? I worked hard on that shit, and I had fun. And if you're looking at that and judging, or you're an Andrew Garfield Emma hater, I just weeded you out, bitch! It's why my private story has been shrunk down to like the 15 people I actually care about and want to see what they're up to constantly, and that I feel comfortable sharing all parts of myself with. It's why now when I leave the house, I dress however extra or hobo I feel like being that day, and I act as introverted or extroverted as I'm feeling that day. Because if I'm gonna be perceived as too little or too much of one or the other thing, then good riddance. Yeah. And it's why I kept that video with my stupid fat caterpillar eyebrows on it up, because underneath the stupid fat caterpillar eyebrows was a pretty nice message.
Every cringeworthy memory that makes you collapse on the floor in a bundle of what is my life is a line measuring how much you've grown as a person.
Kill the part of yourself that cringes. I did, and I even caught it on camera in 4K. You're cringe. It's that simple. I've been sharing and spreading this mentality with those closest to me in my life, and now if I catch myself looking at something and thinking, oh, that's cringe, I stop and I check myself. A post I took down went back up because my friend Meg said, no, you're gonna post that. A poem I was too afraid to read out loud got read out loud because my sister Vicky said, no, you're gonna read that. I don't care if you're embarrassed. And the Spider-Man outfit I was terrified and mortified to wear out into public when I was going to see Spider-Man in the theaters, I ended up wearing. And people did look at me, and I'm sure some of them were judging me. Some of them, I think some of them ate it up, to be honest. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because either way, I had fun. And ever since I've killed that part of myself that cringed, I feel so much happier. Now it's your turn. If you could just do one thing for me, just take a second. Summon the judgment you have for yourself, about yourself, whatever it may be. One thing, many things, all things. I want you to summon the part of you that cringes. Okay, so you've summoned the cringe. Good, okay. Are you ready?